Breaking news from the world of fashion. We're hearing that the fashion designer Giorgio Armani has passed away.
Giorgio Armani is dead at 91. The tributes are pouring in, the candles are lit, but behind the black veils lies a scandal that money can't hide. Who inherits his $8 billion empire? Armani never married. He had no children. For decades, this was the fashion industry's whispered secret.
By 2001, it was acclaimed as the most successful designer of Italian origin. So we're just hearing.
Armani's empire was untouchable because it was built around one man. Now, that man is gone, and the sharks are circling. Insiders claim Armani spent years trying to design a future-proof empire, but fashion houses don't survive without heirs. Versace nearly collapsed after Gianni's assassination. Valentino was swallowed by private equity. But Armani, he always swore his brand would remain independent. The problem? Independence only lasts as long as the leader lives. And Giorgio Armani is gone.
Giorgio Armani, the Italian-born designer, passing away at his home in Milan.
So who's next? Rumors point to his nephews, Sergio Galeotti's relatives, family trusts, and even whispers of a secret heir hidden from the spotlight. Yes, fashion insiders say Armani may have left behind more than just sketches and blazers. Some claim there were private relationships, hidden companions who may demand their piece of the legacy. $8 billion doesn't disappear quietly. And then there's the government. Italy has been eyeing Armani's fortune for years, circling him with tax evasion probes and whispered mafia ties from the booming Milan fashion scene in the 1980s.
Designer Giorgio Armani has left behind an enduring legacy in fashion and a world-established brand spanning over 50 years.
At 91, Armani was still fighting those rumors. But death changes the game. Suddenly, every tax loophole, every offshore account, every estate plan will be dragged into daylight. The most twisted part, his death wasn't unexpected. Armani had been retreating from public life, showing signs of frailty. Yet insiders swear the timing couldn't have been worse. Milan Fashion Week is around the corner. The global luxury industry is in turmoil. And without Armani, the balance of power is about to shift. That's why celebrities are tripping over themselves to post tributes. Julia Roberts called him a true friend. Victoria Beckham said his legacy would live on forever. Richard Gere posted his famous line, "Armani made him a star." But let's be real.
Armani's combined flair and business acumen saw the company generate around $2.7 billion in annual turnover.
These aren't just tiers, they're alignments, they're staking claims. In fashion, who mourns you publicly is also who positions themselves to inherit your influence. And the silence is louder than the tributes. Lady Gaga? Quiet. Rihanna? Silent. Beyoncé? Not a word. Why? Because aligning with Armani might not be the safe bet anymore. Behind the glowing headlines, the whispers are clear. Armani's empire could be torn apart by lawsuits, inheritance wars, and government probes. So let's cut the black ribbon act. Armani's death isn't just about grief, it's about greed. And the billion-dollar question is simple. Who walks away with the empire and who gets erased? Comment below. Do you think Armani secretly left behind an heir, or will this empire get devoured by corporations? Let's see where you stand, because this fight is only just beginning. Hollywood loved Armani, but don't mistake love for loyalty.
His vision's so unique that I don't think they need a new designer phase. They just need to continue the brand, the legacy.
His blazers, tuxedos, and gowns defined red carpets for decades. Richard Gere in American Gigolo. That wasn't just fashion, that was branding. Julia Roberts in Cannes. Armani's gowns were her armor. Leonardo DiCaprio, Michelle Pfeiffer, even Morgan Freeman. Armani dressed them all. But here's the scandal. Armani didn't just clothe Hollywood, he controlled it. He decided who looked like a star and who looked like a nobody.
The designer set up a foundation in 2016 to guarantee smooth succession and the company's continued independence.
And in Hollywood, image is everything. Actors who wore Armani became legends. Those who didn't, they faded into background noise. That's power, and Armani wielded it with a cold, quiet dominance. Now that he's gone, Hollywood is rewriting history. Julia Roberts is weeping on Instagram. Victoria Beckham calls him a visionary. Donatella Versace and Ralph Lauren praise his genius.
Armani had a collaborator on both his women's and men's collection, and experts say that there could be multiple creative leads.
But let's not pretend. Behind the tributes is fear. Armani's death leaves a power vacuum, and every designer is scrambling to position themselves as the next red carpet king. And here's where it gets twisted. Some tributes are less about Armani and more about self-promotion. Victoria Beckham's post, for example, was a polished essay about his legacy. But critics are dragging her, saying she used his death to spotlight her own brand. The whispers online. She made it about herself.
I think there are exceptional tools to work with. We are able to see within a fraction of time how the picture of a model will look.
That kind of scandal spreads like wildfire. But Beckham isn't alone. Other designers are lining up to claim Armani's spirit. Valentino's circle is already hinting that their house represents Armani's true legacy. Versace is pushing Gianni's revenge arc, their comeback against Armani's dominance. Even Dior is sliding in, suggesting their red carpet dominance is the natural successor. And celebrities, they're pawns in this chess game. Who posts a tribute? Who stays silent? Who suddenly switches brands? It's all political. And the silence from stars like Beyoncé and Rihanna isn't random. They know aligning too closely could backfire if Armani's empire gets dragged into tax battles or inheritance scandals. In Hollywood, silence speaks louder than hashtags. Here's the irony. Armani built Hollywood's image, but Hollywood is already moving on. They'll cry today, but tomorrow they'll be in Versace, Dior or Balenciaga. Armani's empire dies with him, unless someone seizes control. The question isn't who mourns Armani. The real scandal is who benefits from his death. Giorgio Armani was more than a designer. He was an empire. Hotels, fragrances, eyewear, even sports teams.
The king of Italian fashion, who prioritised clean lines and simple elegance. Giorgio Armani has died at the age of 91.
He wasn't just dressing actors. He was building a brand that touched every corner of luxury life. But an empire without a king collapses fast. Here's where the scandal breaks wide open. Armani insisted his company remain independent. He rejected buyouts. He fought corporate takeovers. He wanted Armani to live forever on his terms. But now, without heirs, without a strong succession plan, that independence is up for grabs. And the vultures are circling. Private equity firms are already whispering about carving up the brand. Luxury giants like LVMH and Kering are preparing their bids. Insiders even claim secret talks were happening before Armani's death, and his passing just accelerated the timeline. But money isn't the only problem, legacy is. Armani's image was minimalist, elegant, untouchable. But what happens when the next generation turns it into a marketing gimmick?
He started the business from his apartment in 1975. When he died, the company's worth revenues of 2.3 billion last year.
Fashion insiders fear Armani's empire will become another hollowed-out shell, a cash cow stripped of its soul. And don't forget the scandals buried deep. Armani faced tax probes in Italy, accusations of shady financial dealings, and rumors of mafia involvement in Milan's booming 1980s fashion scene. While he was alive, Armani's reputation protected him. Dead, his estate is wide open. Investigations, lawsuits, inheritance claims, they'll all surface. And when they do, the Armani brand may never look the same again. Meanwhile, Hollywood has already shifted its gaze. Stars are posting glossy tributes today, but tomorrow they'll be dressed in something else. Fashion is cruel that way. Armani may be dead, but the drama is very much alive. The empire is worth billions. The heirs are unclear. The rivals are hungry, and the scandals are ready to resurface. Armani's death wasn't the end of a story, it was the beginning of a war. And for the fashion world, for Hollywood, and for Italy's power brokers, that war starts now.